Hey everybody, Drew here from Pella Cars. Super excited to bring you guys this beautiful 2010 Mazda 3. It has 160,590 miles on it, and it is all the way up from southern Pennsylvania, so it's extremely clean underneath as well. In this video, I want to walk you guys around the car and show you any little perfections that wouldn't jump out in the standard, photos from, the popular angles and all that, and really get up close to those imperfections so there's no surprises when you get here to test drive it or when you have it delivered if you buy it online. And also we're going to take it for a drive, make sure that it drives, correctly, test the brakes, all that, as well as kind of like review it and point out some of the differences it has versus other cars in its class. So as far as imperfections, we'll start up front. This is part of the bumper, this is the hood, so this is plastic, this is metal. You can see that there's some stone chips throughout. The bottom of the bumper has some, like bug chips or bug stains on it. There's a little stain there. That's probably some kind of fluid from a car in front of it at some point, some kind of stain that won't come off there, as well as, again, some bugs. And it looks like at some point right here they bumped into something. This is a one-owner car, by the way. No accidents, great maintenance, one owner. They did bump something here that put a little ding in the fender, as well as a little scratch right here, if you can see that, and the bumper doesn't line up perfectly there anymore. This is a good time to point out the tires. So this was kind of tough to choose how to proceed. So there's like more than enough tire here left, but they're by no means new, so it's priced with the tires that it has, but we can absolutely work through new tires if that's how you'd want to buy it. Just reach out and we can discuss that. You'll also note too, this is a great angle to look at it. This is a pearl white paint job. So what that means, it's a much prettier paint. It's metallic white instead of just gloss white, but also there's more substance there, and these tend to not fade. Pearl white cars are substantially less likely to fade from sun than just straight white cars. So moving along, this is, there's some, I guess, like road pitting. These mirrors are plastic, just like the bumper. It's not going to hold up as good as metal. There's some, like pitting and chips on this. Along the side here, you could tell that the weather strip is a bit weathered, for lack of a better way to put it. But, and also this is super common. Mazda, everybody puts these on. That's like a paint protection film to protect that little area right there from rock chips. But unfortunately, as the cars age, it fades and then it kind of stands out. So I could get those off for you if you want, but then you're just going to get rock chips there that will eventually turn into rust. Again, tires, right just at that tipping point. And again, so we chose to price the car without them, but are very happy to work with you if you want new ones. So out back, your standard scratches along the back of the bumper here. I'm trying to get out of your light, as you can see that. Just, cargo in and out for 160,000 miles. Again, this car is 160,590 miles. There's some scratches there. Underneath is where this car really shines, other than just, your standard surface rust like any piece of metal would if wet and left outside. That's it. There's no rot. It's not falling apart. It's not flaking and crusting, because the part of Pennsylvania where this came from, I used to know the exact number. I want to say they get like 43% less or something like that. It's the Philadelphia area, basically, or about maybe 45 minutes northwest of Philadelphia, and they get very little snow, maybe like 20 inches or something like that. You'll have to, if you're curious, ask me, but of course that's something you could just Google. Way less snow and a substantial amount more sunshine than Rochester, so they have much cleaner cars. Try to give you guys another shot. I mean, your typical Mazda 3 would be all like rotted out here, and it would be all just crumbling apart, but as you see, like there's the pinch welds. There's just no rot or anything other than surface rust, which, surface rust, if you ever, drive home in the rain and then come out the next morning and you notice there's like a flash of rust on your brake rotors. I mean, that's going to happen like that anywhere that's wet, but there's no rot. There's nothing on this car. I'll try to get an angle of the front for you. There's just not the rot that you would see on a Rochester car. Very, very clean. Like this little piece right here, that would be, just a mess on a Rochester car. So it's the most of its drama would be on this side. So there's a door ding here that was a chip and touched up. There's a door ding here, and a little gouge right here. Not sure if you could see that. You could definitely see that one right in the center of your screen. And if I move, let's try to give you my hand here. You can see the reflection of my hand, maybe. Right there, see my wedding ring? There's a good size, maybe like a pinky size ding there, and a very little one here. So inside the car is just absolutely remarkable. I mean, the floor mats, everything. This is because it's from somewhere that doesn't get a lot of snow, so it hasn't been exposed to a lot of salt. The seats are as perfect as you're gonna get. The car came in with seat covers on those, so other than the dust that, you know, worked its way through them over the years, they were saved from any spills or anything like that. The car definitely was not excessively eaten or drank or smoked in or anything like that. It doesn't have a smoke odor, and you could kind of tell when somebody ate 3 meals a day in a car. This is not that. It's very clean. You could see door panels. Walk over to the other side and show you the rest of the interior. Back seat looks like it wasn't even used. Carpets are incredible. I mean, you saw the driver's side floor mat. That should be the worst, and it is, but it's just about, I'll show you that again, just about perfect. That like silvery hue, I'm not seeing that as much in person as I am on my screen, but that's just the nap. The fibers are one way. I'll show you what I mean over there. But nice, very, very nice clean carpets. Excellent. Even the headliner is you know, pretty much like new. I'll show you what I meant about that fabric. It's almost like microfiber when you go a different, see what I mean? Like that. Very, very clean. We'll go underneath the hood. Again, this is the 2-liter. So these were available with a 2.5 liter and even a 2.3 liter turbo. This is the smallest motor. It's the best on gas, and it is geared, by the way, correct fluids. It's green coolant in Mazdas. Oh, but fun fact about these cars, they have a electric over hydraulic steering. So instead of a belt-driven steering pump, which uses more gas, they have an electric one. But unlike, you know, Toyota and Honda and Kia and Hyundai and Chevy and everybody else who just put an electric motor in the steering column, they still have hydraulic steering, which has a much better feel for the sake of sport. And but they power that hydraulic steering with an electric pump. Porsche is you know, the one that made that famous, if that gives you an idea of just how far Mazda goes to make these cars fun. The other thing about these, the first gear is a very aggressive gear, so it's a very zippy car. When I take you for a ride, hopefully you can see that, but it's really fun to drive. And this is where, you know, I try to get into a little bit of like a retro review with these. You know, this car versus a Corolla, which they're direct competitors, they're direct competitors now, you know, 14 years later. This is, you know, this is more of an economy car for somebody that would drive a BMW if they wanted to spend the money. I mean, it's got really tight handling. It's zippy. It corners beautifully. It's just a very driver-oriented car, where something like a Corolla or a Civic is more, you know, kind of numb to the road, which of course the positive side of that would be that, you know, it's more of a relaxing drive. This is more engaging. So this is, you know, for somebody that would drive a Cadillac but only wanted to spend, you know, 20 grand back then, a Corolla is the way to go. Somebody that wanted to drive a BMW but could only spend 20 grand, this is the car. Absolutely marvelous handling, at the cost of a little bit of refinement. You know, you do hear the road a little bit, you do feel the engine a little bit more, you feel the road a little bit more, but just an absolutely awesome car. I don't think I showed you guys in the trunk yet. And what I mean to say by all that, the gearing, that 2-liter is enough. I mean, at least it's enough for me. The 2.5 is a rocket, but for cruising down the highway, this is more than enough. As far as the inside blemishes, it's a super, super common thing. Unfortunately for Mazda, their dashboards deteriorate up here a little bit from the sun. And this one has that, especially being a southern car the way it is. Again, we got 160,590 miles on it. Car runs just absolutely beautifully. To take you guys for a ride. There is that little separation in the handle here, a little bit of flaking on the finish for the buttons, and the only flaw that it has here, I'll show you as I turn this, you have to turn it kind of slow and intentionally to get it to respond correctly. Super common. Unfortunately, our own primary family vehicle has that going on. It's just as electronics age. I'm going to try to correct that a little bit by cleaning it, but there's a good possibility it'll stay that way. Again, it works. You just got to be intentional about how you do it. You can't just crank it because it'll kind of like miss your input. The steering wheel button works fine and most people would probably primarily use that anyway. Again, first gear in these cars, I'm going to zoom out for you here. First gear in these cars is, you could tell that Mazda designed this for people that like to drive. It's just so powerful and zippy. It seems to take off better than my V8 pickup truck or my 6-cylinder convertible. Both of them are really old, but point is, just for a 4-cylinder, super, super, super zippy. We're already going 45 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour. I haven't got on it at all. I think it shifted each time under 2,500 RPMs. We're going 55 miles per hour, extremely smooth. I'm going to get on the brakes here for you. There's no shaking or pulling or anything like that. Just absolute. My hand's been off the wheel the whole time, and the other one's holding the camera rig. Just absolutely wonderful car. Again, you're going to feel the motor, you're going to feel the road, you're going to hear the road a little bit more than you would in a Corolla. I'd say its road noise and its road feel is about the same as a Honda Civic from the same year, but its handling is just absolutely fantastic. The best way to describe this car, and here we'll get on it a little bit for you. Again, that 2-liter, I'm nowhere near floored. That 2-liter is more than enough. Here, we'll take my hand off the wheel for you there. Perfectly straight. Again, jab those brakes. No shakes, no shimmies, no pulls. So again, the best way to describe this car is if the price point was of a Civic or a Corolla, but the goal was the feel of like a BMW 3 Series. Obviously, this is not going to compete with a 3 Series, but it has more of that DNA than a Civic or a Corolla or an Elantra. It's just a really, really fun car. It's a driver's car, for people that like Porsches and Corvettes and cars that are just fun to drive. This is as much of that as it can be with a 2-liter 4-cylinder and front-wheel drive. But anyways, I'm Drew. I really hope this video helped in your car shopping. If you want to purchase this car, you could do so through the website www.pellacars.com, or of course you could just reach out. We'd love to meet you and have you do a test drive. 585-771-0111. Just a final reminder, again, its tires are kind of right at the point where it's hard to choose whether to just replace them or leave them the way it is. It's priced with them the way they are. Feel free to reach out if you'd like to explore options there. And hey, if this video was just fun to watch or helpful with your car shopping in general, and you feel so inclined, a thumbs up on the video also helps our business if you would like to do that. And you're welcome to subscribe to the channel. The only thing this channel is used for is videos like these, which are kind of fun because you get to check out, cars right from the comfort of your screen. So I'm Drew with Pella Cars. Thank you so much for your time. Take care. Bye.